Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is July 1st, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 128 of me answering your immigration related questions. As always, before beginning this video, I'm gonna mention I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. So let's start with the very first question from Elif Mutafoglu. Probably pronounced that wrong. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you for this video, but what if you're a student and applying for your family? I'm right now in the second step. I'm filing affirmative support, but it's student and alone I don't know how I can provide a lot of income. Okay, great question. Thank you very much for asking. So whenever it comes to the income, it's very important, especially at the stage of when you are becoming documentarily qualified, when you're working with the NVC portal. It's unfortunately part of the deal. I don't find it very fair, honestly. I think there isn't really much point, because if you are sponsoring your family member to immigrate to the United States, obviously they're coming here, and once they're entering the country, they're coming already with a permanent residence, temporary permanent residence, but still, they're already a permanent resident once they enter, and they can, obviously, they have a legal right to work in the United States of America. So sponsoring them really doesn't make a lot of sense, especially if it's capable adult who will come here, immigrate here, and will be able to find their job and work and make their own money. But unfortunately, that is part of the process. And if you are not able to show the minimum income requirement that I described in this video that you're commenting on, you do have to find a joint sponsor on the application. It might be a little bit difficult because not a lot of people want to take responsibility really for anything these days, but especially taking responsibility for another person immigrating to the United States, sponsoring them, basically in case if they become a public charge or public have to rely on some kind of public benefit. They can't, obviously, because that's how this family reunification works. That's really one of the only categories that where once you enter the country as an immigrant, you cannot rely on public benefit, which is, I guess, it's fine. I really don't care about that. Like I said, they're coming in as a permanent resident. They are able to work, so it should not be a problem anyway. So I would start finding somebody, asking friends, because really a joint sponsor, it can be anybody. It can be your friend, it can be your relative, whoever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a family member in order to be a joint sponsor. You will have to be, if you're a petitioner on the case, you have to be the sponsor regardless. You're a petitioner sponsor, but if your income is not enough, then you have to find someone who will be a joint sponsor on the application. And like I said, anybody can be a joint sponsor. So I would recommend starting to find someone who will be willing to help you out with this. And it's not going to be easy. Like I said, it's not everybody's willing to take responsibility, but it's doable. It's possible. I've seen people do it. So start working on it as soon as possible, finding someone who will be willing to join you as a sponsor on your application. Okay, so let me post the response here, and we're gonna move on to the next question from PG Palma 6506. We are F2B, applied on 2015. How long it can take to have our visa from Philippines to US? Thank you very much for the question. Let's take a look at the visa bulletin, see what's going on for the F2B category. I'm going to look at the graph A, which shows the whole length of the backlog, for the availability of the immigrant visa. That's what you're looking at the graph A. If you're looking at when the NVC portal opens up, then you're looking at the graph B. But for the purpose of this answer, I'm going to look at the graph A. So F2B, Philippines, they have their separate chargeability area. So looks like right now the priority dates are becoming current as of June 2023. The priority dates are in October 2011. So you are in 2015, so depending on which month you are in 2015, you are roughly looking at another 4 years for the availability of the immigrant visa. Let's take a look now at the graph B and see F2B October 2013. So 2013, let's see, and you are in 2015. So it looks like you are 2 years away from NVC portal opening up and you becoming documentarily qualified. Of course, there are exceptions, and NVC portal opens up earlier than Visa Bulletin shows us with their graph B. I've seen those cases, but for most people, if you are, from Philippines and your priority date is in 2015, 2 more years for the opening up of the NVC portal, and then another 2 years, so another 4 years for the availability of the immigrant visa. And that's, of course, if there is no additional backlog accumulating on the Visa Bulletin, which usually is the case, unfortunately. Okay, so let me post a response here, and we're gonna move on to the next question comment from Clara P6467. This is very helpful and informative. My spouse have his H1B, while me and our children are with H4 visa. So H1B is a work visa and H4 is a dependent. I hope you can make a video tutorial on how to file for extension of H1B dependents, spouse and children. By the way, his current visa will be extended and is on the process by their company. Thank you very much, and more power. Clara, thank you very much for your question and your kind comment. Really appreciate it. So, H1B is going to be taken care of by the company. They're filing the I-129 to extend his, the fact that he's still employed and he will be employed. But as for H4 dependents of H1B, you are filing the I-539, the application to extend change non-immigrant status. The same application that I described in this video that you commented on. It's exactly the same process. So basically what you will be doing is you will be filing the I-539. In the application, you will mention that it's filed based on the existing, because you are H4. So you don't even need to specify, because they already know that you are dependent. Once your husband's status is extended, they're gonna know already that it was extended, so it's not gonna be any problems at all. And whenever it comes to children, you will be adding as a supplement the I-539As. Let's say, for example, if you have, you didn't specify how many children. Well, let's say you have 3 children. So you will file your I-539 for yourself, and then 3 separate I-539s together in the application for each child. That's as an example, if you have 3 kids. If it's 2 kids, obviously it's 2 I-539As. But it's the same exact process as described in the video. Maybe I'll make a separate video just for for H4, but it's very straightforward. There's really nothing crazy involved that is something outside of the scope of this application, basically. Okay, let's move on to the next question from actually it's not a comment, it's just a comment, it's not a question. Shabana Khan 730. Hi sir, hope everything is okay with you. Shabana, thank you very much for checking in on me. Really appreciate it. I've been on a road trip for the past few days, so haven't been able to get online, but hopefully we'll be, once I'm done with it, because I'm moving, so once I move, I should be able to again stick to the everyday schedule without skipping days. Sorry about that. Okay, let's move on to the next comment from Semarge Me 8198. I am from Nepal, F4 category, my priority date 2010. My letter was approved in 2014 June. Now my case was in inquiry when I sent mail to NBC. They answered 1818 me that they send me welcome letter, check in my mail, but I cannot find anything in my mail. So please, I want to how I get my welcome letter, and after I get my welcome letter, how long to get interview date, please answer me. Okay, thank you very much for the question, and sorry you missed the letter. So if you have provided, and honestly, if you're watching this video, if whoever's watching this video, and if you're dealing with family reunification, keep in mind that NVC, they are very, very heavy on the emails, meaning that they like emails. They send notifications quickly. They like to communicate through the emails. They're very good with that. So if you are starting a new I-130 application, make sure you put an email address that you're using every single day. And since you file I-130, check that email every single day. Now for Semarge Me, I would recommend you, if you have provided the email in the original I-130 application, I would recommend going through the whole email, junk mail, the whole email. Search for NVC. Just type in the NVC in the search and see if there are any emails in junk, not the junk, the spam folder specifically. Because personally, I had actually first couple emails, they went to the spam folder for whatever reason. I don't know why, but yeah, even that .gov email sometimes go to the spam folder. So definitely check the spam folders. Now, if you have not provided the email and your only communication, them communicating with you and sending you notifications was by physical mail, then you would have to reach out to NVC again and let them know that the original welcome letter was lost and that you have never received it, and that you need a copy of it because you don't have the case number and the invoice number in order for you to log in to the NVC portal. It's very important. So in order to do that, I'm going to actually show everyone where to find that. You will submit a public inquiry form, and I will get the link and I'll copy it and post it in my comments. So let me post this for now, and I'll type in link here. So whenever it comes to public inquiry, for whatever it is, if you're looking for an update, if your priority date is current and nothing is happening as far as the immigrant visa, as far as the NVC portal opening up, if you have any questions, if you have any updates that you want to provide to the NVC, this is what you do. You provide public inquiry form, and you do that through the official government website for Department of State, their Bureau of Consular Affairs, travel.state.gov. This page right here is Visa Bulletin for July 2023. You can find this page in the description below, the link in the description below. So click on that link so you have this page in front of you. From this page, click on Contact Us right here. I'm going to open it in a new tab, and you will have a few multiple options open up once the page loads. There you go. So there's quite a few options there, but you will select US Visas Contacts right here. So we're going to click on this, and then you'll scroll down a little bit and you will see the table with bunch of stuff, bunch of different contacts for different options. You're going to need the very first row. You will find the email public inquiry form right here in the very first row. So we're going to click on this. You'll scroll down a little bit more, and then you will see online immigrant visa inquiries only, public inquiry form right here. Gonna click on this link, and that will give you the public inquiry form where you will put your NVC case number if you have it. But in this situation for CMARGME, because they did not receive the welcome letter, they don't have the NVC case number. So in this situation, you will put USCIS receipt number, the original receipt that you received once the I-130 was filed, that you should have. And then you will put beneficiary's full name right here, principal applicant's full name, that's beneficiary's full name, beneficiary's date of birth right here, petitioner's full name, who you are, petitioner or beneficiary or attorney, but not in this case, you get the point, email address, and then in the inquiry you will put the same format as, like, for example, a cover letter where you say hello, dear sir or madam, whatever. I like to keep it professional and official. Obviously save this for your own record so you have that, and then introduce yourself. Again, mention the case number just in case, so it's not missed, so that they can pull up your case quickly, and then tell them that you have never received the initial welcome letter, you don't have the case number, you don't have the NVC case number, the NVC invoice number, you cannot log into the NVC portal, and if they can send you those details. Because really, out of the welcome letter, you really don't need the welcome letter. The only thing you need the welcome letter for are those two things, case number and the invoice number, because that's what you use in order to log into the NVC portal. Other than that, that welcome letter really doesn't, you don't need it. So if they can send it to you, that's it. That's really all you need, and for them to do that is straightforward, just answering your inquiry and saying, yes, here you go, here's your case number, here's your invoice number, your case is right now with us, with NVC. And that's really it, and that you can use to log in to the NVC portal. So I'm gonna post this link right here, and also I'm gonna take a look, let me copy this right here. I'm gonna take a look at what's going on for F4 category. Your priority date is in 2010, and you said you're from Nepal. So Priority date 2010, Nepal, it will be all chargeability area. So let's take a look what's going on. Let's see. So F4, April 2007 right now are the priority dates that are getting their immigrant visas. Okay, so they're becoming current right now for the immigrant visa. So April 2007, you're in 2010, so you roughly have, depending on which month in 2010 you roughly have another 3 years for the availability of the immigrant visa. Okay, let's take a look at the graph B and see when the portal is going to be open. March 2008. So you have roughly another 2 years for the NVC portal opening up. So even if you get, which I would definitely recommend getting it, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, oh, you need to wait another 2 years. No, you need to be on top of your case every single day, even if it takes, 15 years, like with these cases right here. So you still have 2 more years for the NVC portal to fully open up so that you can start your documentary qualification process. So good news is that you didn't lose any time. Everything is good. But you still need to obtain those, case number and the invoice number so that you can have the access to the NVC portal. Because, also you need to figure out where did that mail go. If it was a physical mail, where did it go? Did it go to some other address? Is there a mistake in an address? You need to figure it out. If there is no email on file, maybe you can, have it added, because here in the public inquiry form you do provide your email address. So maybe in your inquiry you can also ask them to add that email address to the application, so that if there is any additional updates, which there will be, because you still will be dealing with the documentary qualification process, you get, instead of waiting for the physical mail, you get, if there's any update, you instantly are notified through your email. Okay, so let's move on to the next comment now from Treasure Classes 5545. How much do you have to have sponsor your husband? They say I need another person to help me sponsor. Okay, so thank you very much for the question. That's a really good question. So whenever it comes to petitioning for someone, whenever it comes to family reunification cases, unfortunately, they made it really complicated. They made it so that you're not just sponsoring, you're not just showing enough income to sponsor that one person, but you also have to show enough income for the whole household. So let's say right now your household income is, your household size, your household size consists of 4 people. Okay, meaning that you're filing when you're filing taxes, you're filing, for yourself, person 1, and then also 3 people on your taxes, 3 dependents, right, on tax. Let's say 3 children that live with you, for example. And now you're petitioning for your husband. Okay, so you have to show enough income, not for just you and your husband, right? You have to show enough income for 5 people, because it is you, 3 children plus your husband. So 4 people plus 1, so that's 5. And in this video where you are commenting on, that's where I show, you can find this on USCIS right here. You can type in HHS Poverty Guidelines for 2023. There you go, it immediately comes up. And the very first, there you go, right here. So again, for household of 5, like I said in this example, you would have to show enough. 43,000, you would have to show 43,925 at least gross on your taxes. And if it's under, obviously you would have to provide a joint sponsor. And if it's just you on your taxes and you're petitioning for your husband, then you have to show enough income for the household size of 2, which would be right here 2, and that would be 24,650. And if it's under that, then yes, you do have to find a joint sponsor who would be willing to join on the application. It's hard, like I was answering in the very first comment in this video. It's not easy to find someone, but it is doable. So if you think that it's not going to be enough, you need to start looking for someone. Again, it can be anybody. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. I wouldn't say stranger, obviously, because a stranger would not agree to do that. But a friend, a good friend, will. So start, asking around people, who would be willing to join on the application if you know for a fact that this is going to be under this numbers right here, judging by the household size. Okay, so let me post a response here, and we're gonna move on to the next comment from Bruzy B. Bruzy, thank you for another comment. Bruzy says, how can I contact you privately? So Bruzy, unfortunately, I don't, I've mentioned in quite a few videos, but I don't offer any kind of services or any kind of consultations that have to do with immigration outside of this channel. And the reason why this channel is called Free Immigration Help is because it is free immigration help. If I was doing some kind of video and saying, oh, there you go, here's a little bit of information or something, and then contact me privately so that you can hire me or pay me or do or whatever, then it would be consultation, then it would be a service. And even if I say that, yeah, you can contact me and I will answer the questions for free, it would still be something outside of the channel that can be considered a service, that can be considered a consultation, that can be considered an immigration practice. And I don't, first of all, I can't do that. I would not recommend working with anyone like that. If you're working with somebody, then you need to work either with immigration practitioner who is authorized by USCIS to do that, or obviously an immigration attorney. So if you have any questions, this is the only way to reach out. You can send me through the email, because I have the email, but it's not for questions. And a lot of emails, the ones that I answered on this channel, I actually got them through the spam folder. So I don't know why, but it's whatever. I guess it's because it's off the website, and I don't have the website. So the best way to contact me, the best way to ask the questions is through the comments like this, just commenting on any channel. So sorry, Bruce B, I wish I could, maybe eventually something will come up and somehow there will be something, but not right now. So we'll see how that plays out. But yes, if you have any questions, the best way to do it is through the comments. Okay, let's move on to the next one from Sagal Adan 9345. How long take I-824? Okay, so let's take a look at the processing times. You can find them here at USCIS. All of the, whenever it comes to immigration related stuff, that's where you find your information. USCIS.gov, official government website for US citizenship and immigration services. And surprisingly, for a government website, it is actually really good. If you're working for the government, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you, but a lot of times, most of the times, you probably know it yourself better than anybody else. If you're working for the government stuff usually is, especially whenever it comes to technology, is a little bit lacking. But USCIS is pretty good. It's pretty simple to find the information that you're looking for. So for processing times, we're gonna go to tools, and hopefully, some of the applications and petitions, they are not showing up in processing times, but we will see if this one does. We're gonna go to case status online right here. And you can actually, your own case, you can check your case status by typing in the receipt number here and then checking the status if you submitted your form I-824 application for action on an approved application. You're gonna have your receipt number, so you can check that. But let's take a look at the processing times right here, and we're gonna see if there is an I-824 on this list, because some of the applications, like I said, they're not here. So there you go, I-824 application for action on approved application or petition. There you go, we can select this. From category, there's only one, to request further action on an approved application, makes sense. And then whenever it comes to the field or service center, again, you can find that information on the original receipt that you received. Basically, notice of receipt, whichever it is, you can select here. Let's select California service, for example, for this one as an example. And there you go, 4 months. 80% of the cases take about 4 months. So there's 20% of the cases that take either longer or less time than 4 months, but normally it's 4 times in California. Let's see, Nebraska, 22.5 months. There's huge difference between California and Nebraska. Honestly, I have no idea why it's such a huge difference. It might be the fact that one of them have not updated yet. It might be the fact that there's not a lot of applications in Nebraska and they send everything to California. It can be a lot of reasons. So Don't ask me. This is all internal stuff from, see, National Benefit Center takes 5.5, which is their basically electronic kind of hub where they send all of these applications. So it might be 5.5 and not, not like crazy time like in Nebraska, but let's see Texas. Texas takes 12 months. See, it's all over the place. So make sure you check which service center your application went to, and check appropriately. So I'm gonna post my answer here, and I'm gonna paste that link so that you don't have to search for it, and you can check it yourself there. And actually, let me copy this back from here. There you go. And we're gonna move on to the next comment from Walal Zaki 8198. IR2, immediate relative category, priority date 17 June 2020, documentarily qualified 19 July 2022, consulate Kenya. When should I expect an interview? Walal Zaki, thank you very much for the comment, thank you very much for the question. So, you're in immediate relative category, which means that your immigrant visa has been already available ever since your I-130 was approved. And you are already documentarily qualified almost a year ago. So your case is already in the US Embassy, just waiting for the interview to be scheduled. I'm thinking US Embassy is pretty busy in Kenya. I'm not sure why. Maybe maybe they don't have as much of available appointments for the immigrant visas, or maybe they just have a lot of people, that are waiting for their immigrant interviews. But I'm pretty sure your interview is already scheduled. You just don't know it yet because they have to notify you of your interview date only 30 days before the actual interview date. So for example, let's say your interview is scheduled for, right now it's July 1st. Let's say your interview is scheduled for September 1st, 2023. Let's say, for example, you will get your notification that your interview was scheduled for September 1st, 2023 only on August 1st, 2023, or like August 2nd, or however, 30 days, right? 30 days before the September 1st, 2023. Why? Because you have to do, by their law right now, whatever they have, their regulation, you have to do the medical examination within 30 days. They are actually talking about extending that time and making it 6 months, which would be great because a lot of people who are waiting for their immigration interviews, instead of waiting 30 days before the interview to know that their interview was scheduled, they will know 6 months in advance to their interview when it was scheduled, which is obviously much better. It's much better peace of mind. Okay, I'm waiting 5 months for my interview. It's a long time to wait, but at least I know that it was scheduled and I'm not sitting in the dark. Like, for example, you do since July 2022. That's a long time to wait. What you can do, if you want, it's a little bit of an extra step, but I recommend it to everyone. It doesn't hurt. It's really not going to create any problems. You can actually call the US Embassy in Kenya, where you're going to be doing your interview, and ask them. Say, hey guys, I am immediate relative category. I've been waiting for almost a year now for my interview. I just wanted to follow up and see if you can give me when my interview was scheduled. And I've seen cases where, there's a nice person on the phone at the US Embassy, and they actually look at their scheduling and they say, oh yeah, you're scheduled sometime in September or whatever. Obviously, you can't still go and do the medical examination because you have to wait for the official letter scheduling that interview. But for the peace of mind, it is good to know. So you can find the information for all the US embassies. If you are, watching this video and you're in another country and you're going through a similar situation, on usembassy.gov, this is the list of all the embassies. So in this example, we're gonna go to Kenya. There you go, Kenya. And let's see, there you go. US Embassy in Nairobi. So phone number, there you go. Just give them a call and say, I'm immediate relative category, so my immigrant visa is already available. So that's what, that's the information that you kind of let them know once you tell them that you're immediate relative category. If you can, come back to this channel and let us know in the follow-up comment how did it go, if they told you. Don't be upset if they say, sorry, we cannot give you that information. A lot of times they do, and that's just how it is. But you know, sometimes they, you know, I've seen cases where they say, oh yeah, sure, and they give you the actual date when the interview was scheduled. Okay, let's do the very last question for today from Stephen Chan, 6752. I'm trying to apply for a re-entry permit. Is this possible through the website? I don't see it as an option when trying to apply online. All I see are options for parole and advanced parole. Okay, yes, absolutely. I-131, it's the application for travel document, and it is available online. And yes, one of the options there should be, I'm not sure, maybe there's a glitch with the website, maybe it's somewhere else, but we're gonna go to the actual application itself. We're gonna go to forms, and we're gonna find the I-131, and I'm gonna show you. It should definitely be there. Let's see. There you go. There you go. Yes, use this form to apply for. The very first thing is a re-entry permit, and then there's also refugee travel document, TPS travel authorization. So yes, absolutely, you should be able to apply for the re-entry permit using this I-131 when you are filing online. So thank you very much for your question, Stephen. I hope you can find it. And if you're not able to find it, like I said, a lot of times, you know, they have their tool. They call it tools outage. So it happens sometimes. Sometimes the processing times are not available. Sometimes certain online applications are not available. But just give it maybe a day or two and then try again. Maybe that would resolve the problem. But I'm pretty sure it should be the very first option. The re-entry permit should be a very first option. And actually, let's see, take a look at the instructions. Re-entry permit, yeah, so it should be the very first option, because this is like one of the main things that this application is used for. The very first one, they would put the most common one that this application is used for, and that would be the re-entry permit. So maybe it's just called something different. Maybe there is some kind of like category that, you know, that is mentioned, and you're not able to find it, but it should be the very first option as well in the online application. So hopefully you can find it. But if you don't, let me know. You can post your question under this video, and it goes for everybody else who's watching this video. If you have any follow-up questions, you're very welcome to ask them, and you can ask them under any of the videos. Just please make sure that you ask them as a separate comment and not under my comment within your comment, because YouTube does not send me those notifications. So thank you very, very much, everyone, for your questions today. Sorry I missed a couple of days. I'm gonna try to catch up to the rest of the questions from the past couple of days, hopefully in the next video. But I appreciate your time. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.